Hello everyone, bonjour, welcome back to the French desk. So today we are going to begin with Leçon 8, that is lesson 8 of our book on Chanter part 1. The title of Leçon 8 is Une sortie entre amis, which means an outing with friends or a get-together among friends. So let's read this dialogue here. Hey Sarah, is it true that the concept of restaurant was first introduced in France? Yes, Paul. Restaurants were invented in France in the 19th century. So the concept of restaurants were introduced in France. That is interesting. Okay, coming on to the dialogue of our lesson. Trois amis sont dans un restaurant. That is, three friends are at a restaurant. Helen, André, and Alan. So Helen asks, Qu'est-ce que tu aimes? What do you like? André replies, J'aime les frites et la pizza. I like fries and pizza. Helen says, Et toi, Alan? Qu'est-ce que tu aimes manger? He replies, J'aime la pizza. So here you can see highlighted is the term aime. Here in this chapter we are going to get introduced to the concept of conjugation of verbs. We'll learn about the different categories of verbs and how we conjugate them. Earlier we have learned a few verbs. If I remember, we have learned the conjugations for être, avoir, and how we can use them in our conversations. So now moving on to another part of the grammar section, we'll be doing conjugation. So right now you don't have to worry about how these verbs are changing. What does conjugation mean? We'll do that shortly. For now, you just try to understand the meaning of the dialogue. So what do you like? I like fries and pizza. And you, Alan? What do you like to eat? Alan replies, J'aime la pizza. Aimer is a verb which means to love or to like. Manger is a verb which means to eat. You should add these meanings in your vocabulary list. Next, Helen. Bon, nous mangeons ensemble. Great, we'll eat together. Ensemble means together. André replies, Le soir, tu as un concours à la? Do you have a class, Alan? This evening, do you have a class? Alan says, Ah oui, je vais chanter et danser. I have to go for singing and dancing. So Helen replies, Tu chantes aussi? Do you sing also? Alan replies, Oui, je chante et je joue du piano aussi. I sing and I play the piano also. André replies, formidable, great. Bonne chance, all the best, good luck. Helen says, Bonne chance, Alan. He replies, Merci beaucoup, thank you so much. So here, danser is a verb which means to dance. Chanter is a verb which means to sing. Jouer is a verb which means to play. I hope you've understood the dialogue. Simple. Moving on to the questions. Question 1. Répondez aux questions suivantes. Answer the following questions. Comment s'appellent les trois amis? The question asks the name of the three friends. We'll write the answer in complete sentence beginning with Les trois amis s'appellent Helen, Alan and André. Okay? Qu'est-ce qu'ils mangent au restaurant? What do they eat at the restaurant? So we'll write Ils mangent les frites et la pizza. Cochez les bonnes réponses. Take the correct answers. Dans le restaurant, il y a trois amis, deux amis ou quatre amis. We just read there were three friends, so we take the first option. André aime la pizza, les frites, les deux. We know André likes to eat both fries and pizza, so we take the third option. Dites vrai ou faux. Write true or false. Les amis sont au restaurant. Say true. Vrai. André joue du piano. Faux. André doesn't play. It was Alan who plays piano. So this is false. Ce soir, Ala a un concours. C'est vrai. Ellen aime chanter. C'est faux. It is Alan who likes to sing. So this is how we do the questions. Okay, now we are going to start with a major grammar portion of your class 6. You should pay attention because this is going to be helpful to you throughout your phase of learning French. Okay, this is going to stay with you throughout. So you should pay attention. This is the basics of verbs. And further we'll move on to the next classes and we'll see how these verbs change and how these conjugations change when we change our tenses. So very important, pay attention and make notes of this topic. Okay, this is going to be the foundation for your grammar. Les verbes. In French, there are 3 groups of verbs. They are ER ending verbs, IR ending verbs and RE ending verbs. For now, you just remember there are 3 categories of verbs. Today in this chapter, we are going to deal with just the ER category verbs. So you pay attention to that. Forget about IR and RE for now. To conjugate an ER ending verb, we remove ER from the end of the verb and replace it with the appropriate ending with the pronom sujet. We know there are 6 pronom sujets. Je, tu, il, elle, nous, vous and il, plural. So, we add these endings with the respective pronom sujet. The endings are e, es, e, ons, ez, ent. Okay. For example, now we are coming on to aimer, the verb that was given in our dialogue. So I told you aimer means to love and like. You should also try to remember the meanings of these verbs. Okay. Now we are coming to singular. You know the singular pronom sujet are je, tu and il, elle, right? I, you and he, she. So the first ending is e. You remove er from aimer and you add, so it becomes aim, right? When we remove er from aimer, you are left with aim. That is the radical. So now you add e to it when we conjugate it with je. Now with tu, you add es. Il, el, with il, el, you add e. I hope you're getting it. Now coming on to the plural, we were left with the same radical aim. Now with nous, we add ons at the end. With vous, we add ez. And with il, plural, we add ent. This is how simple the conjugation of ER verbs are. So, I have a few examples for you. Jouer is a verb which means to play. So now, let's try to conjugate jouer. So here are the endings e, ese, ons, ez and ent. Now, we remove er from jouer and we are left with jou, the radical. Now, with je, I add e at the end. So this becomes je joue. With tu, I add es. So this becomes tu joues. Il, elle, joue. Nous jouons. Vous jouez. And il, elle, joue. So this is how you'll conjugate jouer, which means to play. It is simple. We remove er from the verb and we add its respective endings with the pronom sujet. The next verb is habiter, which means to live. Again, we remove er and we add the endings. With j'habite, with je, we add habite, e at the end. I have removed e from je because we add apostrophe with H and vowels. The same way here, it's the same way in aimé we had removed E from je and we had added J apostrophe aim. So j'aime it becomes. Same way it becomes j'habite. Next, tu habites, il elle habite. I'm sorry I've added S here. It should not contain an S here. This is singular ill, but the conjugation is right. So I-L-E-L-L-E habite, nous habitons, vous habitez, and il elle habite. So if you've understood the conjugations, here I am giving you 3 verbs for homework which you should do as practice to see how much you've understood and are you finding the conjugation easy. And if not, do let me know in the comments. I'll try to explain it in another way. But I hope this will be clear to you. I've explained it easier and you'll be able to do it. So adore, which means to adore, danser, which means to dance, and parler, which means to talk. So you have to conjugate these 3 verbs on your own. And if you have any doubts or you feel like you're going wrong, do let me know. I'll be happy to help. Okay, so this was about the ER verbs I was talking about, the first category of the verbs. Now, if you remember, before that, so here are some examples of ER ending verbs. Chanter, which means to sing, regarder, which means to see, habiter, which means to live, jouer, which means to play, danser, which means to dance, colorier, which means to color, détester, which means to hate or dislike, compter, which means to count, parler, which means to talk. So you should remember all these verbs with their meanings, and as practice you can try conjugating them all in the comment section. Right? So this is about ER verbs. Next we have attention. All the above mentioned ER ending verbs are conjugated in the same manner as explained previously, which you should practice and let me know. Être, avoir and aller are irregular verbs and they do not belong to any of the groups. So these are 3 verbs which do not belong to any of the groups and they have their special conjugations. So I've written the conjugations. You can take a screenshot or write them in your notebook and learn them. We have already covered the conjugation for être. I hope you remember. Être is a verb which means to be. So I am, you are, he, she is, we are, they are, you are plural. So this is how you'll conjugate it in French. Je suis, tu es, il elle est, nous sommes, vous êtes, and ils elles sont. Aller, which means to go, je vais, tu vas, il elle va, nous allons, vous allez, ils elles vont. Now avoir, which means to have. I have, you have, he, she has, we have, so on. So j'ai, tu as, il elle a, nous avons, vous avez, ils elles ont. This can seem to be confusing at first, but the more you use, the more you read, you'll be able to retain it. Okay, now we are coming on to page 87, 87. So, le repas. So here we are talking of some snacks and some meals. Le repas means meal. So this boy here asks, what do you like? Qu'est-ce que tu aimes? She replies, j'aime le gâteau. I like cake. So les chips, le burger, le sandwich, le chocolat, le gâteau, la pizza, la crêpe, les frites. So les chips, le burger, la pizza, la crêpe, le gâteau, le chocolat, les frites, le sandwich. Here are some snacks that we have. Let me know how many of these have you tried? I guess here in India, we've tried all except for the original, the classic French crepe, right? If you've tasted crepe, do let me know in the comment section. And also, from where did you get them? Qu'est-ce que tu détestes? Now he's asking about her dislikes. So, qu'est-ce que tu détestes? What don't you like or what do you dislike? She says, je déteste le sandwich. So, here you remember aimer, ER verb, détester ER verb again. Aimer means to like, détester means to dislike. So, this is an opposite you should remember. So this is all about part 1 of Leçon 8. I'll be back with the second part of this chapter soon. Till then, I want you to do your homework, that is conjugating the 3 ER verbs which I gave, and write their answers in the comment section. Okay, and if you have any doubt, feel free to write them in the comments. Thank you so much. Happy learning.